Have you ever wondered why someone who once claimed to love you would do everything in their power to hurt you? Why they'd twist your words, attack your weaknesses, and leave emotional scars that take years to heal? It doesn't make sense, especially if you did nothing but care for them. But here's the painful truth. Sometimes, a narcissist wants to hurt you as much as possible, not because you deserve it, not because of anything you did wrong, but because of what you represent to them. You were close enough to see through their mask. You mattered enough to challenge their control. And now, whether you left or they left, they want to prove one thing above all else, that they still have power over you. In today's video, we'll explore why a narcissist deliberately tries to hurt you, even when there's no reason for it. We'll break down the psychology behind their behavior, not to excuse it, but to help you understand it so you can protect yourself moving forward. Stick around until the end, because this insight will help you stop questioning yourself and start healing with clarity. Let's dive in. When most people think about hurting others, they imagine someone filled with rage, hatred, or vengeance. They picture intentional cruelty, cold-heartedness, or a desire to cause pain just for the sake of it. But with narcissists, the motivation is far more complex and deeply rooted in their internal struggles. A narcissist doesn't hurt you out of pure malice. They hurt you because you remind them of something they hate, something they fear, and something they can't escape. Vulnerability. Yes, that's right. The person they're trying to destroy emotionally isn't really you. It's a reflection of themselves they can't stand. And that's why they go after you with such intensity. Because you were once close enough to know their flaws, their insecurities, and their weaknesses. You saw moments of them they don't show to the world. And now, whether you walked away or they pushed you out, they need to erase that connection, not by letting go, but by hurting you as much as possible. So let's look at the psychological reasons behind this behavior based on patterns observed by psychologists and therapists who work with individuals affected by narcissistic personality traits. First, understand this. Narcissists live in a constant state of inner fragility, masked by an illusion of superiority. Their entire identity is built on maintaining control, admiration, and dominance. When someone gets close to them, especially someone like you, who might have truly cared, they let their guard down, even slightly. That moment of closeness feels safe, until it doesn't. Once things begin to fall apart, whether due to their own behavior or your decision to walk away, they experience a deep emotional threat. Not just to the relationship, but to their carefully constructed self-image. They feel exposed. They feel betrayed. They feel powerless. And the only way they know how to deal with those feelings is by turning them into weapons aimed directly at you. This is where the emotional damage begins. They don't just want to hurt you. They want to prove that they were always in control, that you never really knew them, that they could walk away without consequence, or worse, that you were the one who got destroyed. That's why they say cruel things. That's why they twist your words. That's why they spread lies, play the victim, and try to isolate you from mutual connections. They're not trying to win. They're trying to erase the memory of the moment they felt vulnerable by making sure you remember them as someone strong, untouchable, and dangerous. Another key point, narcissists often confuse emotional pain with power. To them, causing you pain means they still matter to you. If you cry, if you lash out, if you beg for answers, they interpret it as proof that they still hold space in your heart, even if it's in the form of hurt. Your emotional reaction becomes fuel for their ego. It reassures them that they haven't been forgotten, that they still have influence, that they weren't replaceable. That's why they push buttons. That's why they come back out of nowhere. That's why they send cryptic messages, or appear in places they know you'll be, just to stir up old emotions. They don't want reconciliation, they want confirmation. They want to know that you still feel something, anything about them. And if they can provoke even a small emotional response, it validates their existence in a way that makes them feel powerful again. This is also why they often target your deepest insecurities. They studied you when you were close. They listened to your fears, your doubts, your hidden wounds, and now, they use that knowledge like a scalpel, cutting precisely where it hurts the most. If you feared abandonment, they vanish without explanation. If you struggled with self-worth, they remind you of your failures. If you valued honesty, they lie constantly. They aren't trying to hurt you randomly. They're targeting the parts of you they know are most sensitive, because that kind of pain confirms their understanding of you, and therefore their control over you. And perhaps the most heartbreaking part? They often do this while pretending to be calm, rational, or even kind. They may deliver insults wrapped in concern. They may gaslight you into believing you misunderstood their intentions. They may act shocked when you react emotionally, as if they had no idea their words would affect you. But make no mistake, they know exactly what they're doing. They know which buttons to press. They know which memories to bring up. They know how to make you question reality itself. All of it is calculated. All of it is meant to keep you emotionally tangled in them long after the relationship has ended. Because to a narcissist, true freedom is not being able to walk away, it's being able to make you suffer. They don't want closure. They want to leave you broken. They don't want peace. They want to be remembered not fondly, but forcefully. And that's why they hurt you as much as they possibly can. So why does a narcissist want to hurt you as much as possible? It's not about you, not really. It's not because of anything you did or didn't do. It's not because you were flawed, weak, or unworthy. It's not even about hatred in the traditional sense. It's about something much deeper, something rooted in their own internal struggles and emotional instability. A narcissist wants to hurt you because they cannot tolerate their own vulnerability. They fear being exposed for who they truly are. Someone who is deeply insecure, emotionally fragile, and terrified of being seen as ordinary or flawed. And since you were once close enough to witness pieces of that truth, whether through moments of honesty, weakness, or emotional need, you become a threat. That's why they lash out. That's why they twist your words. That's why they try to destroy your peace and make you feel small. They don't just want to hurt you. They want to erase the idea that they were ever vulnerable around you. They want to prove that they were always in control, that they were never affected by you, that they could walk away without consequence, or worse, that you were the one left broken. Understanding this doesn't excuse their behavior. Nothing can justify the pain they caused or the emotional damage they left behind, but it does help you make sense of it. It helps you stop questioning yourself, stop wondering what you did wrong, and stop carrying the weight of their actions like it was your fault. You didn't ask for this pain. You didn't invite it. You didn't deserve it in any way, shape, or form. And none of what they did reflects your worth, not even the cruel things they said, the lies they told, or the ways they tried to ruin your reputation. What their actions reflect is their own weakness, their deep insecurity, their inability to grow, change, or take responsibility for how they've hurt others. Narcissists live in constant fear of being exposed for who they really are beneath the mask of confidence and charm. And when someone gets too close, when someone sees through them, even slightly, they respond with destruction, not because they hate you, but because they hate the version of themselves you remind them of. And now that you see this pattern for what it is, you can begin to release the guilt, the confusion, and the emotional chains they tried to bind you with. You can stop blaming yourself for their cruelty. You can stop replaying conversations in your head, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. You can stop wondering if maybe, just maybe, there was something more you could have done. Because the truth is, there wasn't. You did nothing wrong. You loved, you gave, you cared, and they used that against you because they couldn't handle being seen. You are stronger than their attempts to hurt you. You are wiser than their games. And you are more whole than the image they tried to destroy. Don't let their behavior define your self-worth. Don't let their words stain your heart forever. You are healing, growing, and stepping into a future where their presence no longer holds power over you. Take care of yourself. Protect your peace. Set boundaries. Walk away from toxicity and stay away. And remember, healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing yourself every single day, even when it's hard. Even when the pain still lingers. Even when part of you still wonders if things could have been different, but they couldn't. Because you were never meant to carry their darkness. Thanks for watching.